Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
Good. Later in the program, we have our Dear John letters. I'm excited for that. A fun one. If you'd like to chime in, you can do that now at our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Also, want to let you know we got a lot of other fun stuff to get to, like this, a quote from John Wooden. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. I like that.
Okay.
A lot of times we worry about the things we can't do, and we let that get in the way of the things we can do. I worked for a guy that said, control the things you can control. I always liked that. It's like you can't make people do things, but you can give them the chance to do things.
Right.
It's like, oh, hey, that's a good way to look at it. Going to give you the chance to hear more cool stuff coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you know anyone else that shops online? Come on, it's 2017. Most people buy at least some things online every month. How would you like to save money and earn money from that shopping? There's an interesting new program that allows you to sign up for free. No credit card needed. Then you can save money when you buy online at many of the major sites. Plus, there's a way to earn money, too. Watch the video with all of the details at radiosavings.com. Save money and earn money. Radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, August the 3rd. It's Friendship Day today. Oh, will you be my friend?
Sure.
All right, you are my friend. It's also Watermelon Day today. Do you like watermelon?
I love watermelon.
Do you like watermelon, or do you like watermelon flavor?
I like watermelon.
Do
I
you
don't
like
watermelon flavor.
You don't?
Not really, no.
And I don't think watermelon flavor tastes like watermelon.
No.
I mean,
none of the fruit flavors taste like
but that's the thing.
fruit.
I've had like a Jolly Rancher that was watermelon flavored, and I was like, well, it's good, but it doesn't taste like watermelon. Not even close. Can't imagine somebody who's had one of those and then for the first time ever tried watermelon.
The thing I don't like about watermelon is it's so messy.
It is.
I mean, I would buy it a lot more often if you didn't have that giant shell left over after. Yeah.
I've seen online where people make those into helmets. Maybe you could do that.
I know.
It's also Indian Pale Ale Beer Day today. So all of those things to celebrate on this Thursday, the 3rd day of August.
John and Heidi.
Wouldn't it be great to have a new car and to always have a new car? You can with lowerlease.com. We teach you how to get the best lease deals available. We have clients that have used our system to get a brand new $25,000 vehicle for just $250 per month. You pick the car you want and let us show you how to get the lease payment you want too. This is a proven system that has people driving new cars with no money down. Sign and drive a new car with a lower lease payment at lowerlease.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Kelsey Grammer is in the news. He's opening a brewery, and guess what he's going to name it?
Frasier's?
No, that would be a good name. It's going to be called Faith American. His youngest daughter's name is Faith.
Oh.
So I think Frasier's or, Cheers or something, because that's what he's famous for. Originally Cheers.
But Cheers, I'm sure, is...
Probably taken.
And so is Frasier's, probably.
Cheers to you? I don't know. Anyway, Kelsey Grammer, I wish you the very best.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Take a listen to this headline. Indiana man kills doctor who refuses to prescribe wife opioids. That's not good. A doctor in Indiana would not prescribe a female patient what she wanted, and he was shot and killed by the woman's husband, who later killed himself. Dr. Todd Graham, 56, was shot by Michael Jarvis, and this all happened in Indiana. And the prosecutors there say the shooting took place in a parking lot at St. Joseph's Rehabilitation Institute, which is near where Graham worked. And it's all because she wanted a certain kind of drug and he wouldn't prescribe it. So the guy decided, hey, well, if you won't prescribe it, I prescribe death. Wow. That's bad. That's not good at all. So, boy, that is taking it
Indiana.
to
that's not the sort of story you usually hear coming out of Indiana.
Not at all, but that happened. And kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, the big screen and the little screen, and we've got sad news here. This is from last week. June Foray, veteran actor, best known as the voice actor for the little squirrel, flying squirrel Rocky. Remember that? Rocky
Oh,
and
yeah,
Bullwinkle.
Rocky and
She was
Bullwinkle.
also the voice of Natasha, and from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. She died. She was 99, passed away last week. So that's really sad. Also, speaking of big screen, little screen news, William Shatner was participating in a horse and buggy competition last week, and he was thrown from his buggy.
Oh.
He's okay. So that's kind of crazy. A lot of weird stuff going on. And from the little screen, Abby Lee Miller, formerly of Dance Moms, entered prison this month for a year-long sentence. She already got beat up by her cellmate, who grew annoyed by her. So,
What is she in prison for? Do you even know? I haven't been following that. I knew she was going to prison, but I don't know for what.
I don't follow any of that. It just encourages them. So I don't know, and I don't care. All right. Our big screen and little screen brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Are you trying to lose weight? I know the struggle. I've been overweight much of my life. I recently started the easiest weight loss program I've ever tried, and it's working great. I've lost almost 30 pounds, but I'm hearing amazing stories from others that have tried it too. One that's already lost 20 pounds, and another that's been doing this longer than I have that's lost almost 100 pounds. Want to try it for free? You can at pinkdrinkfree.com. Request your free sample right now at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com. Now your scoop of the day. It's official. Arrested Development is about to begin taping a new season. Hey, that could have been big screen, little screen news, couldn't it?
Probably.
That was a show that I never watched until it was
watched.
done, and then I watched a few episodes and said, oh, that's actually pretty funny, and I see why they want to bring it back, so it could be pretty darn cool.
I wish that story was about Last Man Standing.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not. It's about Arrested Development, so maybe we'll have the other one coming soon. Being a parent is challenging, Heidi. A new study suggests being a working mom is more time-consuming than we thought. A new study commissioned by Welch's, that's the grape juice people, 2,000 women they studied found that the average mom spent 98 hours a week working at the office and taking care of things at home. The women in the study were all parents to kids ranging from age 5 to age 12. According to the result, the average mom's day starts at 6:23 in the a.m. and ends somewhere around 8:31 in the p.m. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, by the time you get home and make supper and pick up everybody else's messes because nobody else is able to help.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that? What are you talking about? I'll gladly pick up messes. I just don't make any messes.
You just don't see that you make any
No.
messes because I pick your messes up.
That is a project that I was working on. I'll get back to it in a month or two. Just leave it alone. Hey, this has been flying around on the internet, and it's interesting. A friend of ours actually shared this and tagged us in it. A newborn calf in Texas was recently born with a black and white face that has markings that look a whole lot
like Kiss.
frontman Gene Simmons from the band Kiss.
I saw that.
Simmons' onstage persona includes face paint that's black and white, and he wears leather clothing and has wild hair. He tweeted his admiration for the calf, naming Genie is what they named the thing. Said, "This is real, folks." So if you'd like to see that, I do have an image on our Facebook page because I thought that was pretty darn cool. Wacky but true. I always like it when they start the story with wacky but true. That's the headline here, Heidi. You ready for something
I am
wacky?
Ready. I am ready.
But something true? A suspicious-looking box found near a hospital in Russia had people in a panic. When police were brought in, an X-ray camera discovered the box had a sandwich and a TV remote control in it.
A sandwich and a remote.
I don't know
Right.
why would you do that? I think they probably put it there just thinking, hey, we're going to freak people out, and they did. And maybe they had the sandwich in case they got hungry. I'm not exactly sure. But did you know this is National Sandwich Month?
I did not.
I didn't know that either until the other day, and I got to chat with somebody about National Sandwich Month, so I didn't know that was a thing. Moving along right here, once rubber bands bound things together, to nowadays they became something even more interesting, like a piece of art, I suppose. Take a listen to this. A young man started wrapping some rubber bands together, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's in Houston, Texas is where he was doing this. A resident, Dean Wade, started this ball in 1975. He was working at a downtown bank. He noticed a security guard had a rubber band ball, and he asked him, how was that made? And he said, figure it out for yourself. He did. And that's how Reba, his ball's name is Reba. That's how Reba was born. She weighs 105.7 pounds, which sounds like a lot of rubber bands, but the world record rubber band is a whole lot more than that. Guinness Book of World Records reports the current record holder for the largest rubber band ball is John Bain of Delaware. Guess how big his rubber band ball weighs?
I have no idea.
3,120 pounds.
It's ridiculous.
The 49-year-old said he's not going to stop growing Reba until she's the largest rubber band ball in the world. He's shooting for a 10,000-pound rubber band ball when he's done. Wade is retired, lives with his mother on a fixed income. He suffers from epileptic seizures and says it makes it difficult for him to work. He cannot afford to buy more rubber bands, relies on donations from friends and family. So there you go. Interesting stuff. Coming your way, we have Dear John letters and a lot of other fun stuff coming up in a bit. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Talk about a trip back in time.
80s in the Sand is in beautiful Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Featuring awesome bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, Howard Jones, and many more.
Plus, you'll get a chance to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many others.
You can book your trip back to the 80s now at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person at 80sinthesand.com.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
That's 80sinthesand.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. It's time now for
Dear John Letters.
Dear John, Dear John.
And our Dear John letter for today, here it is. Dear John, my wife and I had a disagreement, and that instantly made me think of you and Heidi. Okay.
Well.
And it says JK. Does that mean just kidding?
Yeah, that
I
means
think
just
so.
kidding.
But in all seriousness, I want to see what you two think of this. We were at my brother's house, and his kid was being awful. They didn't punish him at all. They kind of just let it happen. When we were kids, we would have gotten a spanking. I asked my brother why he didn't swat his little butt, and he said, "We don't believe in spankings." Wow. We were raised pretty well with spankings, and my kids were as well. I never really had to spank them much because they learned right away that I was serious. My brother has an out-of-control child that can and will do whatever he wants to do. On the way home, my wife scolded me for butting in on their parenting. It says, we both agree that spanking is okay, but should I have said something to my brother or should I have just stayed out of it? Signed, can I spank my nephew?
That was actually going to be my advice. I would have been like, just grab him and swat his
Don't no, you're not going to do that.
That's what I would have done.
That's a bad idea. So should he have gotten involved in his little brother's parenting? Here's the thing. I think of all the people in the world that can have that conversation, I think you are one of them that can because you're siblings. And you can say, hey, we were raised with spankings. What are you talking about? You turned out okay, other than the fact that you're kind of a wimp now. So, just kidding. I don't know if I don't know who this person is. But you can probably have that conversation more so than just say somebody at the grocery store. I've seen that done before. Where,
yeah, that is not okay.
Seriously, I was a third party. I wasn't involved at all. I was just at the store, and there was a kid who was running amok, and then there was an older person that went over and yelled at the mother, probably rightfully so, because somebody should have said something, but I was like, woo, I don't think I would have done that.
Yeah.
She didn't even know. It was a stranger in the aisle saying, why don't you keep control of your kids, and, berating them. And the lady, it wasn't good. They did not have a good conversation.
I'm sure they didn't.
But being the sibling, being from the same family, I think you can have the conversation. Now, here's the big question is, I wonder, for most people, do most people believe in spanking? Now, when I was a kid, we would get a spanking if we were in trouble. And the
Our
good
kids
news,
got spankings when they were in trouble.
But think about this.
Not beatings.
No. How many spankings do we have to give our kids?
Maybe 2 in their whole lives,
hardly
each
ever.
of them, because they just knew. After that, it was just the look.
Yeah, just
Once
like
they got the look, then they were like, okay,
where's
it's
it
time
on
to
here?
shape up.
No. Just, where's it at? He said, I never really had to spank them much because they learned right away that I was serious. So this letter said the same thing. And then he says, my kid brother has an out-of-control child that can and will do whatever he wants to do. Mm-hmm. When there's no punishment whatsoever and there's no consequences for your actions, then you can kind of just run amok and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't have to be spankings. If you don't believe in spankings, well, then come up with another solution. Because I'm not saying you should beat the crap out of your kids.
No, nobody's saying
that.
that. Nobody's ever said that.
And I think that's where people who have spanking issues probably had something. And maybe in your mind, things were good growing up, but maybe your brother felt like they weren't so good. Like his spankings were to the extreme. I don't know.
Well, maybe he was a little naughtier.
It could have been. I know growing up, my brother Joe would get a spanking and he would laugh. Then he would get another spanking and he would just laugh. He didn't care. I think he's crazy. Pretty sure. I love him dearly, but he's a little nuts. So anyway, this is one of those things that, again, the question is, Should I have said something or should I have stayed out of it? I think that it's okay that you said something. Do you think he should have stayed out of it, or you think it's okay that he said something?
I think it's okay he said something.
All right. Hey, 2 against 1. Your wife was wrong. You win. Just kidding. Don't tell your wife I said that she was wrong. Again, I'm going to stay out of all of that. But signed, can I spank my nephew? I don't think you should.
I would.
I think you steer clear of all of that.
At least if you're babysitting, then it's your rules in your house. So.
Yeah, there you go. If they put you in control, but I don't think you just go over to their house on the way home from work and say, you know what, it's Tuesday, I had one heck of a day, I'm going to go spank my nephew for the heck of it.
No, but I mean, if the kid's doing something wrong.
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure we're on the same page there. All right. If you have a Dear John letter response that you'd like to respond to this, you can do so on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And that's the same place you can go to submit your own Dear John letter. And we'd love it if you'd submit one because it's a lot more fun to answer the fun ones. We get some that are kind of, not so fun. We get some that are naughty and we're not going to answer them on the air. We answer all of them. And again, you can submit yours at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you know anyone else that shops online? Come on, it's 2017. Most people buy at least some things online every month. How would you like to save money and earn money from that shopping? There's an interesting new program that allows you to sign up for free. No credit card needed. Then you can save money when you buy online at many of the major sites. Plus, there's a way to earn money, too. Watch the video with all of the details at radiosavings.com. Save money and earn money. Radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Yamaha is Japan's largest maker of musical instruments. I always think of them for like motorcycles, but I guess they do sell keyboards and stuff too, don't they?
I remember that from the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The weight of a year's worth of New York Times newspapers is about 520 pounds. So if you let them stack up on the front porch, eventually your front porch would collapse. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The largest hailstone ever recorded was 17.5 inches in diameter. That's bigger than a basketball. Can you imagine the damage that would do to you?
That's
piece
crazy.
of hail. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
On average, a baby's heart will beat about 60 million times before they are born. And another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In ancient Greece, the word idiot meant a private citizen or a layman. So you were always surrounded by idiots in ancient Greece. And I think we are today as well, but for a whole different reason. A couple of fun facts brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Are you trying to lose weight? I know the struggle. I've been overweight much of my life. I recently started the easiest weight loss program I've ever tried, and it's working great. I've lost almost 30 pounds, but I'm hearing amazing stories from others that have tried it too. One that's already lost 20 pounds, and another that's been doing this longer than I have that's lost almost 100 pounds. Want to try it for free? You can at pinkdrinkfree.com. Request your free sample right now at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com. We've got some weird news coming your way here in a bit, your moment of duh, and of course we always end with good news. But before we get to that, I found another fun fact that I missed here. Bonus fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Great Pyramids of Egypt now stand a full 3 miles south of the spot where they were originally built.
How would they know that?
Because, well, they say that's how much the Earth's surface has shifted in the last 4,500 years.
Okay, how would they know that? How would they know, hey, 4,500 years ago, these were actually sitting right here instead?
Well, there's a big line on the ground where
they've been
them.
dragging.
So, yeah,
you think so?
I don't think so. But somehow they know. And we've got some weird news coming your way.
John and Heidi.
Wouldn't it be great to have a new car and to always have a new car? You can with lowerlease.com. We teach you how to get the best lease deals available. We have clients that have used our system to get a brand new $25,000 vehicle for just $250 per month. You pick the car you want and let us show you how to get the lease payment you want too. This is a proven system that has people driving new cars with no money down. Sign and drive a new car with a lower lease payment at lowerlease.com.
Now, some weird news on a Thursday. Ladies, if you just can't get enough coffee, here's something that you might be interested in. A company called Hard Candy has coffee-flavored lipstick. That seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want that.
The founder of the company says the idea was women are drinking coffee in the morning and putting on makeup. We thought, hey, let's combine those two things.
Well,
Each stick actually has 18 milligrams of caffeine, and the wearers are supposed to get a hit, wink, wink, every time they lick their lips. They currently have 3 flavors and different shades of beige: Cafe au Lip, Latte Lip, and Lippuccino.
There are lots of things girls do in the morning that they would not want their lipstick flavored like.
Yeah, probably. A brilliant red caffeinated color called Red Eye is in the works. So there you go. A little bit of weird news for you there. For those of you who, wouldn't you just drink the coffee? Would you still drink coffee and have a lipstick then?
Yeah,
they go together?
I'm assuming so.
I'm not sure how that works. Anyway, some weird news for you on a Thursday, brought to you by lowerlease.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Not sure how this can happen, but apparently during his 17-month federal incarceration in Atlanta, Wayne Milton snuck out at night at least 50 times
Whoa.
in order to continue his high-stake mortgage fraud business that had landed him in jail in the first place.
Oh, my gosh.
He was eventually caught and got a fresh 20-year sentence for having bribed a prison guard who allowed his freedom. The smooth-talking Milton was reportedly secretly recorded on a prison phone lining up another mortgage loan just days after his initial incarceration.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is a guy who literally did not learn his lesson, got himself thrown in prison, kept doing what he was doing, got another 20 years now. That is just bizarre that something like that could happen. But he bribed a guard to let him out. Hey, you let me out of here at night? I got some business to do.
Pretty sure that guard no longer has a job.
Probably not. A former guard, yes. Coming your way in a bit, we've got some good news to get to. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Join us this November for 80s in the Sand.
Talk about a trip back in time.
80s in the Sand is in beautiful Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Featuring awesome bands like Loverboy, Starship, Night Ranger, Howard Jones, and many more.
Plus, you'll get a chance to meet 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many others.
You can book your trip back to the 80s now at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to save $200 per person at 80sinthesand.com.
We'd love it if you'd join us.
That's 80sinthesand.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. AntMan and the Wasp is in production. This could have been part of our big screen, little screen as well. Kicked off on Tuesday. AntMan and the Wasp is a sequel to the 2015 movie AntMan. The movie is going to come out middle of next year, starring Paul Rudd, who was Ant-Man last year.
Yes, he
or
was.
2 years ago,
Well,
whatever
it's
that
been
came
more
out.
than 2 years, I think.
Yeah, and
but
2015, I guess it says. Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Lawrence Fishburne are all signed on to be in this next production. So there you go. Coming your way, we've got some good news. That's on the way in a bit on The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and it's a bonus when somebody shares a story that has an officer doing something awesome, because
I love those.
I just think we need to have as many positive stories as possible. And this actually comes from ABC News, which is kind of crazy. ABC News, it says, a Texas toddler reunites with a sheriff deputy who delivered her on the side of the road to celebrate her first birthday. It was a heartfelt, and it was a big deal. The photo shoot reminded him that police work is what he needs to keep doing until it's his time to stop. And there's an officer. Do you see the photos here, Heidi?
Yeah, I can see them.
They're having
It's adorable. A little tea party.
Yeah, that is awesome. So he had a chance to meet up with this little girl. She's a year old now, and he delivered her on the side of the road 1 year ago, which is cool. When you think about how difficult that job would be to be a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
The things that they get involved in every single day, props to you. Hats off to you, big time. The John and Heidi Show respects you more than you'll ever know. And it's amazing. Now, Heidi has two brothers that are both police officers. I've got another brother-in-law. So I have three brother-in-laws that are police officers. My dad was a policeman when I was a little kid. So like I said, big time respect from our program here. And anytime somebody shares a story like this, I'm gonna do what I can to put it on here for our good news. If you've got good news to share, please get that to us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And our good news comes your way each day, courtesy of 80sinthesand.com. It's a week-long 80s event in Punta Cana later this November. Did I say that right? Punta
It
Cana?
depends. I've heard it both ways.
Punta Cana? It's in the Dominican Republic. I know how to say that. I've never been there, but I'll be there in November. If you'd like to get more info, it's at 80sinthesand.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. We had our Dear John letter earlier in the program. If you missed it, you can chime in and give your advice, even if you did hear it, at the same Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.